So, this is something which I have heard from many people. So, many people who are very new to manifestation, they have this complaint that, I'm trying all these affirmations, but this is not working. So, the main thing which I feel about them is that first thing is that your attitude towards your affirmations is not right, because it's not something magical that it will happen automatically. You actually have to believe it for it to work, because even your the statement that this is not working itself is an affirmation. So it is up to you whether you are making good affirmations out of a situation or you are making bad affirmations out of situation. Okay, so there's this story which I had heard from my mother. She was trying to, she narrated me this story when I was trying to give an entrance exam, because entrance exams are highly competitive. So she had shared this to me around 5-6 years back, and she tried to inspire me by this. So she was saying that there was one boy, a young boy, who was trying to climb up a tree, and everybody was like, and he was deaf. Okay, he could not hear anything, he just could see. So everybody, a crowd gathered around the tree and the boy, and they all were shouting that, get down, get down, get down. But the boy thought that they were cheering him, and he kept going on and on. Then he gathered all the fruits and then came back. So that's how you have to be with your 3D. So if your 3D is not favorable or whatever it is, just ignore it. Just think that your 3D is in fact inspiring you to go to the end and get what you want. But you do not get what you want, you get what you are. So you have to be that version which already has it. So anytime you're using mental coercion with yourself, like you just try to force yourself to believe this, that also doesn't work that way. So what you have to do is, little by little, each step, each and every day, maybe you cannot go from A to Z, but you can go from A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E. But you have to have this focus that I have to change, because your willingness is very important. So the story doesn't matter whether it's the old story or the new story. Of course the new story does matter, but then the willingness to leave the old story behind is what matters the most. But so I'm trying to use this. So whenever you're using this prayer and you have this thing which is like in the back of your mind, okay, I'm making this prayer, but I know this is not gonna work. So that is what I'm trying to call as mental coercion. So this is what Dr. Joseph Murphy had also been saying in his book. So to use mental force is to presuppose that there is an opposition. So just like that, I just told you, like, you are praying, and then all of a sudden you're like, I know I'm praying, but this doesn't work. Because there are some people in common groups and they are always complaining about everything. And what I don't like is about their attitude is that they're always complaining, I do this and that, I do this and that, but nothing's working out, and etc. I mean, what is the attitude you're carrying with yourself? Is that working? And then when you're saying that I'm just doing all this affirmation just for the sake of it, because somewhere I'm like, if all of a sudden everything starts working out, but that doesn't happen that way, right? You need to change your attitude, you need to change the way you look at those affirmations, you need to change the way you look at things, you need to change the way you look at yourself. You're not a victim of your circumstance. So let me just read this statement out, which Dr. Joseph Murphy has been writing in his book. When your mind is concentrated on the means to overcome a problem, it is no longer concerned with the obstacle. So you need to be solution oriented. That's what he's trying to say. Matthew 18:19 in Bible says that if two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven. Which means he's saying that if both your mind and your heart are in this one thing, then you will get what you want. So For that you need to ask, and it shall be done by the Father. That is the infinite intelligence, God, Jesus, Shiva, whatever you call him as, he will do it for you. If it means that the harmonious union or agreement between your conscious and subconscious mind on any idea, desire, or mental image. So, when there is no longer any quarrel in either part of your mind, your prayer will be answered. So, I'll just tell you this one thing. Even I had done this mistake when I was not aware how to pray. So, my grandfather was very serious, and I was almost like 15 years or so, and I was hardly aware of law of attraction or law of assumption, or you can say that law of attraction was something I knew. Law of assumption I knew almost like I started knowing about it 3-4 years back, but law of attraction was something which I knew for a long time, but my logical mind would not believe it, because I felt like somewhere I felt that, oh, if this actually exists, then things would have become really easier. But I made my life difficult by not believing in it. So that was the thing. So when I knew that he was very serious, and I had already decided that he won't be alive, because logically it made sense. But then, had I not believed in it, he would have been alive. That's what I feel. So I would pray to God, but somewhere in the back of the mind, I knew that this is not going to happen. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. So when you pray, you have to actually believe on the solution. You cannot concentrate on the problem or the anything which you are going through. So when there is no longer any quarrel in either part of your mind, your prayer will be answered. The two agreeing may also be represented as you and your desire, your thoughts and your feelings, your idea and the emotions, and your desire and imagination. So you avoid all the conflict between your desires and imagination by entering into a drowsy, sleepy state, which brings all effort to a minimum. So I have been doing this like okay. So there's a concept in Islam which says about they have this thing that is known as tahajjud prayer. So if you are waking, like you are sleeping, and then you wake up all of a sudden around 3:30 a.m. or something like that, and then you pray to God that, God, I've been praying for this thing. Can you? I want you to give me this, or you can put it like that, or you can just pray the Joseph Murphy way, that I've already got this. Thank you, God. I'm so grateful for it. I think the second one is more effective, because that is where you are assuming that you've already got what you want, and Bible has been saying this for quite some time. Not just Bible, every prayer says this thing, that whatever you want, pray as if you have already received it. So when you pray that ways, it becomes more easier for your mind to know that you already got it, because the universe or the mind doesn't know whether something is true or not. But when you make it believable in your mind, that's when it happens. So that's what he's trying to tell you here, that when you get into a drowsy, sleepy state, and there the efforts of your brain are very minimal. So when you pray that time, or when you affirm that time, it becomes more easier to believe. So the best time to impregnate your subconscious mind is prior to sleep. The reason for this is the highest degree of outcropping of the subconscious occurs prior to sleep and just after we awaken. So when I get up, I put some good, even I do it. So when I get up, I put some good affirmations on miracles, on life is good, I'm so grateful. And that has really changed my life, because I have been a more positive person ever since I started doing it. So in this state, the negative thoughts and imagery, which tend to neutralize your desire and so prevent acceptance by your subconscious mind, no longer present themselves. So when you imagine the reality of the fulfilled desire and feel the thrill of accomplishment, your subconscious brings about the realization of your desire. A great many people solve all their dilemmas and problems by the play of their controlled, directed, and disciplined imagination. So you won't believe. So in a similar way, I had got my watch back. So I had, I had lost it somewhere in the gym, and nobody was helping me to get it. Or you can say that my subconscious mind already knew that I had left it in my gym, but everybody was like, we don't have it, and the gym trainer was like, no, somebody must have taken it. But then He returned it later on when he found it out somewhere. So I was just visualizing my watch, and I was just and a similar thing had happened with my Bluetooth as well. So when you want something, you cannot concentrate on the problem that I'm not getting this watch or I'm not getting this Bluetooth. You just have to keep on visualizing that particular outcome that you got it. So I would visualize that I already got my Bluetooth, I already got my watch, and that's how I got it. So this is what I wanted to convey to you guys, and I hope this helps. Thank you.